you're going to want to do first is you're just going to do File, New, or New, Create New would be fine. And then with size guidelines, you can do either inches or pixels. But if you're doing pixels, I would recommend, I don't know, maybe 3,000 by 3,000. Okay, but pay attention to your unit of measurement because it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, 3,000 inches by 3,000 inches, but that can be really, really big. So you usually want to make sure that you have the right unit of measurement. Pixels, resolution, I'm doing 300. I want this to be super high quality. So 300 is dots per inch. If it's 72, it could be kind of blurry or pixelated. And click create. It's going to take a minute. All right, so I just have kind of this blank square to start working with, and I know it's kind of bright, but you can let your eyes adjust a little bit. From here on out, and I want to see everyone doing this, when you start working on your logo in Google Classroom or in Photoshop, I want you to work with layers. So I don't want you to put everything on one layer. Don't just put everything on this background layer and call it good. Work with layers. So your text tool, it's kind of nice because it'll automatically do its own layer. So let's say, I don't know, it's Happy Day Farm is your logo company. Okay. So there is my text layer. It's separate from my background. Now let's say that they wanted a circle in their design. Okay, I'm going to go to my shape tool. I'm going to right click on that. Go to my ellipse. Does anyone know how you draw a perfect circle? If I want to make it perfectly round, what do I press? Shift. Yeah, so if I hold down, I'm going to go back here, hold down Shift and then click and drag. It's going to give me a perfect circle. It's ready to go. And then maybe they wanted the color green, or you need to enter in a certain color green from your hex code here, and you can just type that in. All right. So you're just building with layers. If you run into this where, oh no, I've lost a layer, it's covering up something, I can't see it anymore, chances are it's just the order of layers is off. So you just might have to drag your text layer above that circle layer. Okay, working with shapes is kind of a good place to start. So if you know that you want a circle in your design or a square, start with the shape because that's going to kind of give you your framework. Then I usually will put some text in, but I wouldn't say this is like the final text. I can certainly play with that some more. Some cool things you can do with text if you haven't known these already. You can warp text. So you can do things where you want them to arc. It's very simple, just like a quick click, and you can do kind of all different things with that text. Again, you can also do the blending options. So if I right click on that text layer, blending options, I can do, let's see, stroke. So if I want to do an outline, again, I'm going to do it a little bit larger here. So some kind of cool outline, you can do that. There's shadows, if you want to do a drop shadow or that outer glow again. So just keep those in mind too for all of your layers. That works for text and for shape and for anything that you would hand draw. I do recommend that if you are hand drawing that you definitely increase your smoothing on your brush. So make sure you, and I would use a hard brush too. Hard brush, make sure smoothing is like 20 to 30%. And then when you're drawing, it's going to look a lot better, a lot more natural. And using the drawing tablets will help you with that too. So make sure when you start off, the main thing is just when you do File New, that it's a high quality starting image. Don't do like 30 pixels by 30 pixels at 72. That's going to be like super teeny tiny. 3,000 by 3,000 is considered high quality. It's a large size. And you could do like 3,000 by 2,000 if you really don't want it to be a square. But I think working in a square works just fine because eventually I would just erase away all this extra stuff I don't need anyways. Any questions about getting started in Photoshop or Illustrator? Illustrator is similar, but there are a lot of different tools. So if you really want to try Illustrator and just go for it, just know that some differences, like there is no fill bucket in Illustrator. Everything you do is basically like a shape layer. So you change the fill up here along with the stroke. You don't actually fill it with anything. Illustrator is kind of a misnomer, I think, because when we think of Illustrator, we think of illustration. I would say Photoshop actually lends itself better to actual real illustration. But Illustrator works far better for logo design, in my opinion. I think logo designs look better after they're done in Illustrator. So it's kind of a trade-off. what you're going for. All right, that's it. If you have any questions,